Hi, and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 80 Drinks. This week, I'm showing you how to make an Americano, not like the coffee drink, but the cocktail. It's a classic. It's an International of Bartenders Association classic. They recognise this drink. They use it in cocktail competitions. And it was created in the 1860s by Gaspar Campari in their bar, Cafe Campari. It's a super easy drink, and it's really nice. First of all, I'm going to fill my tall glass full of ice. The more ice, the better. The colder the drink's going to stay for longer. You do not want a watery drink after 5-10 minutes of having this in your hand or even sat on a table. You want the drink to stay cold and fresh. So there we go. There's loads of ice in there. And it's equal measures of Martini Rosso and Campari. So we've got a sweet vermouth here in Martini. And there's one shot, so that's about 25 ml. And Campari, a bit of bitterness to go with it. Again, one shot, 25 ml. And it is as simple as that. And then we just dash a bit of soda water in the top, like so. And finally garnish it. Now, classically, it is garnished with lemon. I don't have any lemon, but orange is going to work just fine. It's going to give off a nice smell, good aesthetics to it. Just zest it over the glass a little bit, give it a pinch, a little incision, hang it on the edge. Not only smells and looks great, but that's it. It's as simple as that. That is an Americano cocktail. James Bond's ordered these in the first novel of Ian Fleming's series, in Russia, and From Russia with Love. It was also in that. He's mentioned it. It's not famous for it, like the martini shaken, not stirred, but it is a James Bond drink. So, give it a quick stir before I drink it. Otherwise, I'm just drinking soda water from the top. And there we go. He drinks it with Perrier. I've got Morrison's own soda water, but I'm not as rich as he is. Cheers. Absolutely delicious. So next up, we've got another fantastic guest. I'll introduce them in the next VT. Roll VT. We're talking here to Elyse Kimmel in Denver, Colorado. How is it going over there?
It is going all right. Making it through these weird times and the unfortunate circumstances of what's going on everywhere, but making it through, doing all right.
So yeah, what is it that's been? What have you been doing to get you through your days during all this crazy stuff?
Well, I am lucky enough to be a student right now, so that's taking up plenty of time. I'm in my senior year, so just doing Italian language, and I also study anthropology. So I do that, and then I also still I contract out for some different brands, making cocktails. I spend a lot of times doing some tutorials for drinks and trying to keep that balance of still getting to do what I love, making cocktails while not being able to make them for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a bit about yourself then. Like where did you start bartending?
So I actually started at Green Russell, which is a craft cocktail bar here, and I started 5 years ago as a bar back, and I worked my way up. I was a cocktail waitress and then a bartender, and I just fell in love with it, with the intricacies of all of the classic cocktails, and we specialized in the bartender's choice. So getting to make literally anything you wanted was just my cup of tea because I love being creative. So it's good.
Amazing. Yeah. And so you started there, and is that where you stayed right up until lockdown?
Yeah, just about. I've worked at a few other spots, some rooftop bars, doing a little bit different of a vibe, but that was tried and true for me, where I was the whole time.
And what's Denver like as far as the drinking scene goes? Is it cocktails heavy, or is it beer, wines? What's it like over there?
Oh my gosh, we have everything. I mean, we have so many different great breweries, so the beer scene is great, but the cocktail industry is fantastic. We're such a tight-knit little group. Everyone is so close, and really just amazing bars, amazing cocktail bars, rooftop bars, Yeah, anything you can really ask for. Wine as well is fantastic. So Denver's a great spot. It's a little bit smaller of a city, and you can kind of feel it with how tight knit everyone is.
Okay. So yeah, I've never been to Colorado. I've never been to Denver. So if you're comparing it against the likes of New York City, which is obviously massive, and Vegas is quite a big scene, even though it might be all compact.
Yeah.
What's it like over there then? Is it much smaller? Not as huge?
It's going to be, yeah, so it'll be smaller. It's going to be a little bit more spread out just because of
Okay.
how close New York and San Francisco can be. But it's also a lot more laid back because we have the mountains right here. Everyone's so active and interested in being outside
Okay.
and doing fun things. So even, I mean, you're not really going to find too many people like all fancy and dressed up all the time to go out, which I don't mind. It's kind of more
Yeah.
chill and but still amazing food and drink, everything really. Anything you
Okay.
could ask for in a city.
Awesome. And when we briefly chatted before, and obviously I found you on Instagram, so there's loads of info about you and what you're doing there.
Yeah.
But you're on with a project that's called Backyard Sodas.
Yeah. I've been working with Backyard Sodas for I guess over a year now. They are a local craft handmade simple syrup and soda company, and they do also CBD syrups and sodas, and everything is so fresh and delicious, and just such a nice addition to cocktails. So I love a good simple syrup.
Okay, so what do you work as a bit of an ambassador for them?
So I'm an
You go around
ambassador.
shouting about.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm an ambassador, and then I also do a lot of photos. I love photography and cocktail photography, so I help them with that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it shows. I think like a lot of when I contact bartenders like yourself through Instagram, I always have a quick scroll through your page and see if there's loads of pictures of bartending or cocktails. So there's obviously a reason you stood out.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I love just how many different worlds you can enter with cocktails, and all the different palettes you can appeal to. It's super fun.
Good. And also, you've got something going on called Take Flight Cocktails, haven't you?
Yeah. So that is my private bartending business. So I do private events. I also do lessons to learn classic and craft cocktails. A lot of different things, especially virtual now that parties are a little bit harder to do.
Yeah. No, I completely get that. I think you've taken the same path that I have. And tell you what, we'll chat more about that in a minute.
Sure.
And while we're talking about cocktails, I'll hand over to you to take the role of showing us through your drink and talking us all through it.
Sure. Okay, awesome. Well, so for my cocktail, I wanted to showcase a couple of different local products that I just love. One of them is Leopold Brothers. This is a distillery that makes a huge range of spirits, from liqueurs to whiskey to gin and absinthe, which is probably my favorite that they make. And so we're going to be featuring that as the main ingredient. And that is actually a pisco-based absinthe, so it's really light and airy and fluffy. And I love split-based drinks, so we're going to split that with some pisco. This is Barsal. This is a Quebranta, so it's a blend of some different grapes, but really, really great pisco. We're going to have a little bit of maraschino cherry liqueur. I study Italian. I love everything Italian, so we're throwing in some Brassica cherries in there. And then Bjorn's Honey. This is another Colorado local product, probably one of my favorites. This is their untouched honey, which has the wax or the honeycomb on the top. They have everything. They have vanilla, cinnamon, peppermint. And I actually went ahead and made a peppermint honey. So I just did a 1-to-1 of about a quarter cup of honey, quarter cup of water, and then let some peppermint candy canes just sit in there. And
Wow.
I think it turned out really good. But I realized I have to go grab the syrup and the lime. So give me one moment. So
No worries. It's all right. Fire away. This is the joys of a bartender at home. You don't always have a full setup station ready
It's so
to go.
hard to remember everything. You always think you have it, but yes.
The
So this
amount-
is going to be the little bit of the peppermint honey, and then we have just some fresh lime juice to kind of round it out.
Okay.
Right. So I decided to call this cocktail. Oh, let me grab my strainer. This is going to be called the Minty Mountain Hop. So we are going to start with the Leopold Brothers Absinthe. We're going to do an ounce of this, which may seem like a lot, but splitting it with the Pisco, which is so floral and light, it's really not too bad. And absinthe is also my favorites, one of my favorite spirits, so there can never be too much. And then we're going to do an ounce of the Barsal Pisco. Okay. And then we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of the peppermint honey syrup.
I was just going to ask, what sort of strength is your absinthe? What sort of ABV is it?
This is going to be 65%.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, feisty. Perfect for, what is it, noon? Ready for a drink.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, then we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. And finally, we've got just a quarter of an ounce of maraschino cherry liqueur. All right. Then we're just going to give this a good shake. I've got some ice here. Right. And then for garnish, I wanted to do just a little bit of, I have some crushed up peppermint candy. So I was going to put a little bit of that on the rim just to get some really like fun mint aromatics, and then a little bit of candy on the side. All right. Get that. Strain this out. I'm also just going to put a little lime wheel on it to add some color to go with that beautiful Lushing absinthe. All right.
Amazing.
There it is. All right, I'm going to take a sip because it's so full. Oh, that's delightful.
Can't believe you're having absinthe at midday.
Oh, I mean, it truly is one of my favorite spirits, and like I said, because this is Pisco based, it's so light and fresh, and then tied in with a little bit of peppermint for like that freshness. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely.
Amazing.
I may have my boyfriend help me finish this, but we'll get done.
Yeah, as long as you don't have too much to do for the rest of the day.
I know, right?
So just going back to your business in mobile events and that sort of thing. Yeah. What happened at the start of this year with all that? Did it all completely close down, or did you manage to do something throughout summer?
Throughout summer, I was mainly just contracting drinks and making cocktails for different brands because we were on the lockdown, we literally couldn't be interacting with anyone. A few different virtual events, but that was pretty much it. Kind of just came to a stop there. But you know, as we move forward, smaller events, smaller weddings are happening. So that'll definitely be something that I want to be taking my business to. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So when did the bars and restaurants open back up in Colorado?
So let's see. They opened, that must have been late May. May or June, I believe. That they were open with some regulations, and then we've kind of just gone through steps of toning it back or closing entirely. So Right
Oh,
now,
okay.
we're at a currently, as I believe is current, no indoor dining, so only outdoor, which is a little difficult. We are in Colorado, so it's getting a bit chilly here. But
Right.
people are making do. They have the little outdoor igloos. They have some, so they have the heaters, everything like that. And then we also have an 8 p.m. Last call. So it's rough, and these holidays are definitely going to be hard. I've seen some really amazing businesses close their doors. So I can only hope that people are able to survive through the winter. And because,
Yeah.
like I said, our industry is awesome here, and we have some really, really awesome places.
And does your government or local government, however it works in the US, do they support the businesses and the staff very well? So, for example, the bar you were working at, do you still receive pay from that, or did they get rid of all the staff?
So that one is done now. I am receiving unemployment at the moment, but not
Right.
through that bar, or in relation to it. But I would say that it kind of depends who you talk to, and it is really different statewide, how the government is, or the local government is helping, because there have been small business loans, and things like that. But it's really hard to measure, just depending, because how much someone could really need, and
Yeah.
like comparisons, because I've heard stories of people in New York and how things have gone there, and people in Texas. So it's just so different
Yeah.
everywhere. And I think it's really scary for everyone in the industry,
Yeah.
but we're making it through.
Yeah. And so you're making it through by going online basically and doing your virtual events.
Yeah, that, and then just working with a few other brands. That's kind of, I get to help my boyfriend got going on.
Okay, good. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. We've just
No, no
lost you
worries.
on video. I'm
Take a
just bringing you
sip.
back on. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so I assume your boyfriend isn't in the hospitality industry then, if that's still managing to go
No,
on.
he's lucky enough. He's in HVAC and air conditioning and heating. So that's
Oh,
something
okay.
that hasn't stopped at all since the beginning of COVID. So he's been really lucky with that. But but yeah.
And do you see an end to all this within the hospitality industry? Do you see your bookings coming back for weddings and things next year, or is there no light at the end of the tunnel yet?
I think there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. I think that the more that people are willing to just accept the hardships right now, that we'll be able to get through this and get to something that will be much brighter. And you know, interaction is never going to stop, no matter, like, even if we can't be together. So I don't see that coming to an end, and that's really what I'm most passionate about, is interacting and communicating with other people. And making delicious drinks is just the cherry on top for it, really. So
Yeah.
I do feel good about the future and what's to come. I think it's just a really rough time for a lot of people right now.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys, obviously, over in America, have just had Thanksgiving. You don't celebrate Christmas really the same as us. I think your biggest part of the holiday is Thanksgiving, isn't it?
I
Is
think
it?
that kind of depends. For me, it's more Christmas for my family.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
you're right. Thanksgiving is huge for the entirety of the country.
And
Um,
so and so with Thanksgiving and Christmas then, are your bars and restaurants allowed to do anything over this time, or are they closed, or are they ridiculous? Is it
so
literally just
they
the
are,
outdoor stuff?
yeah, so they are open. Like I said, just an 8 p.m. last call in the outdoor dining. But I mean, so many bars and companies in the city have just really taken this hardship by storm and been able to thrive, or at least make it work. And with the to-go cocktail programs that are happening right now,
Yeah.
there's some really great little some markets and like Christmas markets happening, that people are able to serve drinks and food and things
Okay.
like that there. So we're making it work, but I mean, clearly this is the most profitable time of the year for most
Yeah.
people, and it's really hard, especially because it is such a it's such a jolly time, and you want to be around
Yeah.
people, and you want to be out and interacting, and so it's hard in that sense too. But yeah.
So in the UK, we're split into tier systems. So each county has is it either in tier 1, 2, or 3. In 3, basically the bars and restaurants can't open. In 2, they can open, but like you couldn't invite your friends to the pub or to a bar or a restaurant, and you couldn't meet family there. Is it the same where you are, or outside in bars and restaurants, can everyone mix?
So it's the last time that I looked over the regulations, it was that you weren't supposed to have more than 2 households meet.
Okay, right, yeah.
For going out for any sort of interaction, really. And I think it's no more than 10 people gathering at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I was about to say it's not worlds apart. Excuse the pun, I guess.
Pretty similar. I mean, you're not completely contained to your house right now.
No.
Yeah, same here. It's just regulations are put into place.
Yeah. It does sound very similar. I was chatting to someone from Portugal the other day, and they're in complete lockdown. They're not really meant to be leaving the house except for food shopping. So it is different all over the world, but then we are also sort of in the same boat. But it's great speaking to people like you and finding out what's happening over there.
Yeah, same with you.
Well, look, I just want to say, I mean, we've pretty much hit our 20-minute mark, so I just want to say thanks a lot for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's Elyse in Denver, Colorado.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me. Cheers. And
absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I hope we all get through this.
We will.
Yeah.
Cheers. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yet another great bartender on this show, and we are going to carry on going all around the world. You'll see my map on the back. I scratch off a country every time I visit it virtually. I want to do some of the big ones just for the pleasure of scratching it off. So I think we're going to be looking at Russia and China next. But if you've got anywhere you want us to go, then let me know. Have you got any cocktails you want me to show you how to make? Let me know. Any ingredients you want me to show you how to use them? Let me know. And that's pretty much it. We're still giving away stickers. So if you do want stickers, just drop me a message. I'll send them anywhere in the world for absolutely nothing. We're running a competition at the moment until the 24th of December 2020, where if you stick it in an awesome location, share it on social and tag us in it, if it is an awesome location, I'll do a masterclass for you for free, and I'll send you a bottle of spirit. Simple as that, for nothing. Easy as that. And that is it. So until next week, thanks a lot. I'm Dan Lakin. This is Around the World in 80 Drinks. That's an Americano.